My family disowned me after I was falsely accused of pedophilia by my cheating wife. But now the truth is out and they won't stop begging me to forgive them. All right, Reddit. Never thought I'd be the guy getting accused of being a pedophile at Thanksgiving dinner in front of his whole family. But here we are. I, 36 male, have been married to my wife Chelsea, 34 female, for 7 years. Dated for 18 months, got married at 29, bought a house in Round Rock, standard millennial playbook. Everyone said we were solid. Her friends loved me, my friends loved her, and for 7 years I had zero reason to think otherwise. Then, the last 4 months happened. She'd shower the second she walked in from work. The phone was always face down like it was radioactive. If I asked about her day, she'd get defensive about nothing. Classic red flags. But I figured it was work stress. She did medical device sales, always had quota pressure. I gave her space. Then Thanksgiving came. The whole family showed up. My brother Nathan and his girlfriend, my sister Holly with her husband and their 2 kids, plus various aunts and uncles. My mom goes full Martha Stewart every year. I was nursing a drink trying to avoid my uncle's rants about property taxes. Chelsea spent the whole evening glued to her phone in the corner. Not subtle about it either. Just sitting there texting with this increasingly agitated look. Around 7:30, she set the phone down and stared at nothing with this expression I couldn't read. Not crying yet, just blank. My mom noticed first, walked over and put her hand on Chelsea's shoulder, voice all concerned. "Sweetie, you okay?" Chelsea shook her head, didn't speak, just shook her head, and her eyes started watering. I was across the room with Nathan talking about his new truck when I noticed the shift. Mom was sitting next to Chelsea now with her arm around her, while Chelsea silently cried into her hands. My dad muted the game and walked over with that serious dad expression. Then Chelsea looked up, looked straight at me from across the room. Something in her face made my stomach drop. She stood up slowly. Mom stood with her. My dad positioned himself nearby. Conversations around the room started dying. Chelsea took a shaky breath. "I need to say something." Her voice was quiet, but everyone heard it. Room went dead silent. I can't stay silent anymore. Not when children could be in danger. My brain was scrambling, trying to figure out what the heck was happening. "Chelsea," I started. "No." She cut me off, voice stronger now. "I've been talking to you privately for months, making excuses for what I was seeing. I've kept quiet about the late nights on your computer. The passwords you kept changing. The locked folders I wasn't allowed to ask about. What the actual heck was she talking about? I told myself it was work stuff, that I was being paranoid." She laughed, sounding broken. My mom's face shifted to something I'd never seen before. Holly was staring at me with this dawning horror expression, while her 2 kids stood behind her looking confused. But I found messages, on his laptop, messages with young girls, with minors. Her voice cracked hard on that last word. The room exploded. Actual gasps. Holly immediately grabbed both her kids and positioned her body between them and me like I was radioactive. "I haven't done anything." My voice was loud now too. "Liar! All those nights working from home, all those times on your laptop with the door locked, you weren't working." Holly had yanked her kids further behind her, both of them looking scared. My mom had gone pale, but her jaw was set. My dad just stood there processing. "I stayed quiet because I didn't want to believe it," Chelsea said, voice breaking. "But I can't protect you anymore. Not when kids might be at risk. I already made the report." Then my dad spoke. His voice was cold, flat, different from anything I'd heard before. "Get out of my house." I thought he was talking to Chelsea. He wasn't. "Dad," I said, "get out." He wasn't looking at me, looking through me. "I don't have a son who does that to children." "You're not listening." "I'm done listening to you. Holly's kids were just in this house, around you." He couldn't even finish. "Get out, now." Holly started crying. "Oh my God, they were around him all day." My dad stepped forward. Not threatening, just final. "You have 60 seconds to leave before I physically remove you." I grabbed my keys with shaking hands and walked toward the door. My dad followed me, making sure I left. "Don't come back," he said as I stepped outside. "Don't call, don't text. You're not welcome here anymore." He shut the door in my face. I stood there on the porch in the cold November air. Could hear Chelsea crying inside. Could hear Holly talking frantically. Could hear my mom's voice, shaky but determined. Drove home in complete shock. Hands shaking so bad I almost rear-ended someone at a red light. Got home and the house felt wrong. Empty. First thing the next morning, I called a criminal defense attorney who specialized in false accusations. Told him everything. He listened without interrupting. Then, "Here's what we do. You retain me immediately, and we bring your devices directly to the police. Shows you've got nothing to hide and protects due process. Done. Good. Because if you're innocent, forensics will prove it. And if she's lying, we destroy her. My attorney and I went to Cedar Park PD that afternoon. We walked in together and asked to speak to someone about a false accusation. Officer got us into an interview room. Guy was maybe late 40s, had that cop demeanor where nothing surprises them anymore. I told him everything. The family gathering, the public accusation, my dad kicking me out. All of it. And you're saying you didn't do any of this? He asked. I'm saying I didn't. And I'll prove it. I want to hand over my laptop, my phone, my tablet, full written consent for digital forensics. Passwords to every account. I want you to look at everything. He studied me for a long moment. Most people don't volunteer that. But if she has screenshots like she claims, this is serious. My attorney spoke up. I've advised my client to cooperate fully. We believe forensic examination will exonerate him completely. The officer nodded slowly. All right. Digital forensics takes time. Our lab's backed up pretty bad right now. Could be months before we get results back. I understand. Handed everything over. Laptop, phone, personal tablet. Signed every form. Gave passwords to email, social media, cloud storage, everything. We'll contact you when our forensic lab finishes. Don't leave town without letting us know. One more thing, my attorney said. My client's wife claims she found evidence on his devices and filed a report. If he's clean and nothing's there, that means she either made it up or fabricated evidence. The officer nodded slowly. We'll investigate thoroughly. I left feeling lighter. Not happy, not relieved, just cleaner. Got home and Chelsea had already been there. Half her clothes gone, bathroom products missing. She'd texted me multiple times while I was at the station. We need to talk about the house. I can't live there knowing what you've done. I'm staying with Holly. She's the only one who believes me. Everyone will see the truth eventually. I'm filing for divorce. You'll hear from my attorney. I hope they lock you up. I texted back. Gave police full access to all my devices today. Voluntarily. I have nothing to hide. When forensics comes back clean, we'll see who the liar is. She didn't respond for 3 hours. Then, you must have deleted everything. That doesn't prove anything. Forensics can recover deleted files. They'll find nothing because there's nothing to find. We'll see. Day 2. After Thanksgiving, I met with a divorce attorney. Brought the prenup Chelsea had fought so hard against. Said it meant I didn't trust her. Was planning for failure. That prenup was about to save me. Showed my attorney everything. The Thanksgiving scene, the texts, the police report from my voluntary cooperation. He said, if you're innocent, this is a slam dunk. False accusations, defamation, potential malicious prosecution, and the prenup means she walks with basically nothing. What about criminal charges against her? For filing a false report? Possibly. Depends what police find. But civilly? You'll destroy her. Filed divorce papers that afternoon. Kept it simple. Irreconcilable differences. False accusations. Asset division per prenuptial agreement. I kept the house, the cars, the savings. Chelsea got her personal belongings and her retirement account with about $9,000 in it. Had her served at Holly's house. According to Holly's later text calling me every name imaginable, Chelsea had a complete breakdown when she read the terms. Too bad. The first break. 3 days after Thanksgiving, I couldn't stop thinking about Chelsea's weird behavior those last few months. The secretiveness, the defensiveness, the showers immediately after getting home. Something wasn't adding up. I still had our shared laptop, the one we both used for basic stuff. Chelsea had taken her work laptop when she left, but this one was still sitting on the desk in the spare room. Opened it up. She hadn't logged out of her personal email. Took me about 10 minutes of scrolling to find them. Emails from someone named Jay with a Gmail address I didn't recognize. Started innocent enough 6 months ago. Hey, been thinking about you. How've you been? Then they got flirtier. More frequent. By August, they were talking daily. By September, the messages were explicit. Plans to meet up. Complaints about me. He doesn't appreciate you. You deserve so much better. And then in October, the tone shifted. You're going to walk away with nothing because of that prenup. That's not fair. You gave him 7 years. My hands were shaking as I kept reading. More messages. More planning. You need leverage. Something that makes him look bad enough that a judge won't care about the prenup. Then, public accusations work, especially around family. They'll take your side immediately. I screenshot everything. Every single message. Went back 6 months and grabbed them all. Then I looked at the email address more carefully. Ran a reverse search on the Gmail account. Found it linked to a Facebook profile. Jared, her deadbeat ex from years ago. Guy I'd met once and instantly disliked. Unemployed, sketchy vibe, always had excuses for why his life was a disaster. She'd been cheating on me, with him, for 6 months, and he'd been coaching her to destroy me. I forwarded everything to my attorney with a message. Chelsea's been having an affair with her ex-boyfriend Jared for 6 months. Found emails where he's coaching her to make public accusations for divorce leverage. Check attachments. He called me within an hour. This is huge. This shows premeditation. This shows the false accusation was planned. I'm forwarding this to the detective handling your case immediately. Good. The cheating alone gives us ammunition in divorce court. But the planning aspect? That's potential criminal conspiracy. 2 days later, my phone rang from an unknown number. Is this Chelsea's husband? Woman's voice. Professional, controlled. Who's asking? I'm with Austin PD. I need to ask you about Jared. My stomach dropped. What about him? How well do you know him? Barely. He's my wife's ex from years ago. I just found out she's been having an affair with him for the last 6 months. I need you to tell me everything you know about their relationship. Why? Long pause. Then, we've been investigating him for 4 months. Online exploitation of minors. And your wife's been in regular contact with him. Everything went cold. Jesus Christ. I need to know what you found. Everything. I told her about the emails, the affair, the messages about the prenup and needing leverage, the coaching about making public accusations. I need copies of everything you found. And I need to talk to your wife. We executed a search warrant on his devices this morning based on our investigation. Now I need to know what your wife knew about his activities and when she knew it. You think she knew what he was doing? That's what I'm trying to determine. But the timing is suspicious. She's been in contact with a suspected predator for months, then suddenly accuses you of being one. I need to see all their communications. I'll send you everything I have. She's staying with my sister. I can get you that address. Please do. We talked for another 15 minutes. The officer explained Jared had been on their radar since summer. Multiple complaints from parents. Evidence of grooming behavior. They'd been building a case. When we forensically analyzed his devices, we found extensive communications with your wife. Way more than just the emails you found. Text messages, phone calls, and some of the content is concerning. Concerning how? I can't share details of an active investigation, but we're bringing your wife in for questioning, and we're going to need access to her devices. Talk to the officer at Cedar Park PD. He's handling my side of this. I voluntarily turned over all my devices for forensic analysis after Chelsea accused me. I will, and I'll be in touch. She hung up. I sat there processing. Chelsea had been cheating on me with Jared for 6 months. Jared was under investigation for exploitation of minors. They'd been planning the false accusation together. And now the cops had found even more communications between them. My phone buzzed. Text from Nathan. How are you holding up? Found out Chelsea's been having an affair with her ex Jared for 6 months. Cops just called. He's under investigation for solicitation of minors. They found a ton of messages between them on his devices. Jesus. Gets worse. The emails I found show he was coaching her to make false accusations for divorce leverage. Cops think there's more they haven't told me about yet. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. So she was sleeping with an actual pedophile and accused you of being one? Yeah. I spent 3 months in limbo. 3 months of colleagues at work giving me weird looks because someone had heard something. HR never called me in, but I could feel the shift. Conversations that stopped when I walked into the break room. The promotion I'd been tracking suddenly went to someone else with zero explanation. My cousin stopped responding to texts. Just ghosted. We'd been tight since we were kids, and suddenly nothing. One of my buddies from college, same thing. 12 weeks after Thanksgiving, the officer from Cedar Park finally called me. Your forensics came back clean. No illegal content. No suspicious communications. No deleted files indicating guilt. No evidence supporting the allegations. You're clear. I literally had to sit down. My legs just checked out. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. I talked to Austin PD. They executed a search warrant on Jared's apartment this morning. Found illegal material. A lot of it. Images, videos, chat logs. He's being arrested as we speak. What about Chelsea? They're bringing her in for questioning. Based on what we found in his devices and your phone records, she and Jared were in frequent contact leading up to your Thanksgiving incident. We need to know what she knew and when. You think she knew what he was doing? We're building that case. Austin PD found messages between them. Messages about you. What kind of messages? The kind that constitute criminal conspiracy. Messages discussing your prenup and how she could get around it. Messages about making you look dangerous so she'd have leverage in divorce court. Messages where he's coaching her on what to say, when to say it, how to make the accusation for maximum impact. My hands clenched into fists. She framed me, on his advice. That's what the evidence shows. She knew you were clean, but he convinced her that public accusations would destroy you socially, even if you were never charged. That would give her leverage in divorce proceedings. What happens now? He is being charged. Possession, distribution, exploitation. He's looking at decades. As for your wife, we're building a case for filing a false report, criminal conspiracy, and obstruction. Whether the DA files charges is up to them. Will they actually file? The DA hates false accusation charges. Too politically sensitive. But the conspiracy angle with him is strong, and the texts are damning. I'm pushing for charges. We'll see. I'll send you copies of relevant messages for your divorce attorney. This will tank her credibility in family court. After hanging up, I forwarded everything to my attorney. Then I sent a group text to Nathan. Forensics came back clean on all my devices. No evidence of any illegal activity. Austin PD arrested Jared for actual exploitation of minors. They found messages showing Chelsea conspired with him to make false accusations against me. She knew I was innocent and did it anyway to win in divorce court. I've attached the police reports and relevant documentation. Hit send with the attachments. Nathan called within minutes. Holy crap. Yeah. Have you told mom and dad? Why would I? They made their choice. They kicked you out based on an accusation. Now there's proof it was a lie. And they need to know. They can find out when everyone else does. I don't owe them anything. We hung up. Chelsea got arrested 8 weeks later. DA had to review the evidence, present it to a grand jury, get the indictment. She was charged with filing a false police report, criminal conspiracy, and obstruction of justice. Bail was set high enough she couldn't make it. Stayed in county for 5 days before her parents scraped together the money. Jared got denied bail entirely. Too dangerous. Too much evidence. Discovery in both the criminal and divorce cases was brutal for Chelsea. Every text with Jared came out. Every planning session where he coached her. The messages weren't some evil screenplay. More like, you need to make people scared of him. Say you saw something messed up on his computer. Don't get specific. Just say kids and unsafe, and they'll fill in the blanks. Public is better. More witnesses. Family gathering is perfect. They'll panic and take your side immediately. Even if nothing sticks legally, his reputation is destroyed. Chelsea had been ticked about the prenup for years. Felt like she'd wasted 7 years and would walk away with nothing. Jared just gave her permission to do what she'd already been thinking about. My attorney used the messages to destroy her in divorce court. The judge looked disgusted reading through the evidence. Ms. Harris, you conspired with a convicted predator to make false accusations of the most serious nature. You weaponized child safety for divorce leverage. Chelsea's attorney tried the victim angle. Your Honor, my client was manipulated. Your client is a co-conspirator. The messages show clear intent. The judge enforced the prenup exactly as written. Chelsea got her personal belongings, her retirement account, nothing else. No house, no support, no shared assets. Chelsea sat there crying while the judge read final orders. I felt nothing watching her break down. Chelsea's criminal case dragged for 11 months before she cut a no-contest deal to avoid prison. Probation, 400 hours community service, and restitution. Jared's federal case took 16 months, went to trial, got him 28 years in lifetime registry. The divorce dragged over a year and cost me 68 grand because her lawyer kept stalling. My relationship with Nathan stayed solid. He'd never doubted me. Holly was different. She kept trying to reach out, apologize, explain. I kept ignoring her. Holly's role surfaces. During discovery in Chelsea's criminal case, texts surfaced from Thanksgiving week. Messages where Holly told Chelsea to do whatever it takes to get what you deserve in the divorce. Months earlier, she'd asked me for money, and I'd said no. Now the text had her saying, public accusations are your nuclear option, and family gatherings create maximum pressure. Holly wasn't being supportive. She was helping set me up to take her cut of the divorce. Holly had helped plan it, maybe not the specific accusation, but she'd encouraged Chelsea to blow up my life publicly. My attorney got copies, handed them to me with a grim smile. Your sister exposed herself to civil liability here. She participated in conspiracy to defame you. Can we go after her? Absolutely. The texts are damning. Do it. We filed a separate civil suit against Holly. Civil conspiracy, defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and tortious interference. Attach the text messages as exhibits. Holly's husband called me 2 days after she was served. What the heck are you doing? She's your sister. She helped my wife destroy my reputation with false pedophile accusations. She was just being supportive to Chelsea. The texts say otherwise. She told Chelsea to go nuclear and use family gatherings for maximum impact. She knew exactly what she was encouraging. This is insane. You're suing your own sister. She stopped being my sister when she helped frame me as a pedophile. He hung up. Holly tried texting. I replied, "You participated in a conspiracy to destroy my life with false pedophile accusations. You interrogated your own children about whether I'd molested them. There is no making it right. There's only consequences." After prolonged discovery, we went to trial. Every text where she told Chelsea to destroy me and go nuclear ended up in front of the jury. Her attorney tried arguing she was just being a supportive friend, that she didn't know Chelsea would make false pedophile accusations specifically. My attorney destroyed that argument during closing, played the text where Holly said, "Accuse him publicly," and family gatherings create witnesses. Told the jury, "These aren't the words of a supportive friend. These are the words of a co-conspirator." The jury deliberated for 7 hours across 2 days. Came back with a verdict in my favor. Awarded me $95,000 in damages, emotional distress, reputational harm, legal fees. Holly didn't have that kind of money. My attorney explained I'd need to file liens, potentially garnish wages. Winning a judgment and collecting it are two different things. This could take years. Her husband filed for divorce 3 weeks after the verdict. Process took 8 months. He got primary custody. The court found her actions raised serious questions about judgment and potential harm to the children's emotional well-being. Holly got standard visitation. Every other weekend, some holidays. For the first 6 months, the court ordered a supervisor present, but after she completed parenting classes, they dropped that requirement. She had to sell the house to pay part of the judgment. After the divorce split and lawyers took their cut, I collected about 60 grand. Still chasing the rest through wage garnishment. She moved into a small apartment in Georgetown with her 2 kids for visitation weekends. Time passed. Chelsea struggled to find work. Criminal convictions don't look great on background checks. Eventually took a job at a call center making $14 an hour. Moved into a studio apartment. Could barely afford rent. Holly worked retail after losing her house. Department store, name tag, $12 an hour. Saw her kids every other weekend. Her ex-husband remarried within a year. Then, about 2 years after everything went down, my doorbell rang on a Saturday morning. I was making coffee, enjoying the kind of Saturday that only exists when your life isn't actively on fire. Walked to the front door and looked through the peephole. Chelsea and Holly. Together. Both looking like heck. I opened the door but didn't step aside. "What do you want?" Chelsea looked worse than I'd seen her at any point. Hair unwashed, pulled into a messy bun. Clothes that looked 3 days old. Eyes hollow. Holly didn't look much better. Puffy face from crying. Cheap clothes from Target. No makeup. Chelsea spoke first, voice shaky. "I know you don't want to see us, but we're completely out of options." "Not my problem." Holly jumped in. "Please, just hear us out. You've got 3 minutes. Talk." "Can we come inside?" Chelsea asked. "Your neighbors?" "No. Talk from there or leave." Chelsea swallowed hard. "I lost my job. Got fired 3 weeks ago. Someone sent them my court records. My landlord's evicting me. I'm about to be homeless." "Okay. Okay? That's all you're going to say? What do you want me to say? You made choices that led to consequences." Her face crumpled. "I know. But I'm begging for help. Alone. Just enough to get back on my feet." "No." Holly spoke up. "I'm in the same boat. Lost my house paying your judgment. My ex got custody. I see my kids twice a month. Working retail making $12 an hour. 3 weeks from being evicted. And we need loans to get back on our feet. To survive. After you conspired to frame me as a pedophile. After you destroyed my reputation. After all that, you want me to give you money." "It's a loan," Chelsea said desperately. "We'll pay you back. With interest. Whatever terms you want." I studied both of them. "How much?" They looked at each other, surprised. 20,000 would let me get stable, Chelsea said. "I need 15, Holly said. "So 35,000 total." "Yes." I nodded slowly. "And you'll pay me back? With interest?" "Yes. Whatever terms you want." Chelsea was crying now. 10% interest? 5-year repayment plan? Everything in writing? "Yes, absolutely!" Holly was nodding frantically. I looked at both of them. Let them sit in that hope for a few seconds. Then, no. Their faces fell. "What?" Chelsea's voice cracked. "I said no. I'm not loaning you anything." "But you just..." Holly started. "I asked what you needed, to see how desperate you are. And the answer is pretty darn low." "Please," Chelsea begged. I'll do anything. Anything? Yes. Post on Facebook, right now, both of you, full confession. Tag everyone who was at that Thanksgiving, every family member, every friend who cut me off. Admit you lied. Admit you falsely accused me of being a pedophile. Admit you planned it for money. They looked at each other. You said anything, I reminded Chelsea. She pulled out her phone with shaking hands. Holly did the same. What do we write? Chelsea asked. The truth. That you made up pedophile accusations to steal my house. That Jared planned it. That Holly helped. That every word was a lie. And you're sorry. I watched them type. Hands shaking. Chelsea crying. Holly's face blank. Chelsea showed me her phone first. The post was there. Tagged probably 40 people. Full confession. Apology. Post it. She hesitated. Finger hovering over the button. You said anything. She pressed it. Holly showed me hers next. Similar. Maybe even more detailed. She'd named herself specifically as complicit. Post it. She did. Both posts went live. I could see the notifications already starting to pile up on their screens. There, Chelsea said, voice breaking. We did it. We humiliated ourselves publicly. Now will you help us? No. They stared at me like I'd just glitched. What? Chelsea whispered. I'm not giving you a dime, I said. You don't get paid for telling the truth. That's the bare minimum after what you did. You made us post that for nothing? Chelsea's voice went shrill. I didn't make you do anything. You chose to. You're that desperate. I just wanted to see how far you'd go. You're a jerk, Holly said. I smiled. Not a nice smile. Maybe, but I'm not the one who just admitted to the entire family that I'm a liar who falsely accused someone of pedophilia for cash. That's cruel, Holly said. You know what's cruel? Accusing someone of being a pedophile at Thanksgiving dinner. That's cruel. What I'm doing is just declining to help people who tried to destroy me. We're family, Holly said desperately. You stopped being family when you participated in framing me as a pedophile. Chelsea's voice dropped to almost a whisper. Jared said it would work. He said you'd never recover. That even if nothing stuck legally, the accusation alone would destroy you, and I'd walk away with everything. He said the house was worth at least $400,000, and I deserved half. That you'd be so desperate to make it go away, you'd give me whatever I wanted. There it was. He said if I just followed his plan perfectly, I'd come out with enough money to start over with him. $200,000 would set us up for years. She laughed bitterly. And I believed him. Holly's head snapped toward Chelsea. Start over with him? You told me it was about getting what you deserved from the marriage. Chelsea shot her a look. Does it matter now? Yeah, it does. I lost my kids helping you run off with some guy? You lost your kids because you perjured yourself. Chelsea snapped back. Don't pin that on me. You asked me to lie. And you said yes. That's on you. I watched them turn on each other, not saying a word. Holly's voice went cold. Where's Jared now, Chelsea? Because I don't see him here helping you beg. Chelsea's face went blank for a second, then collapsed. He's gone. Left 3 weeks after the judgment. Said he couldn't be with someone who messed up that badly. Blocked me everywhere. So he's gone and you're broke. Holly laughed, bitter and sharp. At least I didn't lose everything for some guy. Shut up. No. You dragged me into your mess and now I'm working retail at 43 because you wanted to play house with some jerk who ditched you the second things got hard. Chelsea's voice cracked. I said, shut up, Holly. They glared at each other. Then both turned back to me, remembering why they were there. So it was always about money, I said flatly. It was about not walking away empty-handed after 7 years. But yeah, money. And I lost everything trying to steal from you. You did. Her face crumpled completely. Will that make you help us now? No. I could end it all. Would you care then? I studied her face. She wasn't being manipulative. She was genuinely asking. If you're serious about that, I can call 988 for you right now. They have resources, but I'm not your lifeline. I'm just the guy whose life you tried to destroy because you thought it would get you $200,000. Her face went through multiple emotions. Shock, hurt, anger, despair, then just empty. So that's it? Holly asked. You're just going to watch us lose everything? You lost everything the day you decided false pedophile accusations were your path to winning. I'm just not stopping your fall. We're begging you, Chelsea said. You're our last option. Then I guess you're out of options. They stood there for another few seconds. Then they turned and walked to an old beat-up car parked on the street. Holly's car. Chelsea didn't have one anymore. They climbed in and drove off without looking back. I closed the door, went back to the kitchen, poured my coffee, and sat down at the table. Then another year and a half passed. Chelsea and Holly faded into the background. Just names attached to consequences I didn't think about anymore. Then, 3.5 years after the Thanksgiving incident, my doorbell rang on a Saturday afternoon. 3.5 years. Not a single phone call. Not a text. Nothing. I was grilling on the back patio, drink in hand. Walked to the front door and looked through the peephole. My parents. Together. Both looking like heck. I opened the door. What do you want? My dad looked 10 years older. Gray hair I didn't remember. Lines around his eyes. Mom looked worse. Thinner. Like she hadn't been eating right. Puffy face from crying. My dad spoke first. We need to talk. About Thanksgiving. About everything we did wrong. You mean about kicking me out? Disowning me? Then going silent for 3.5 years? He flinched. Yes. All of that. My mom stepped forward. We were wrong. We're here to apologize and try to make things right. 3.5 years later. After I cleared my name myself. Now you want to make things right. Why now? They looked at each other. Then my mom spoke. Holly's been struggling. With the kids. The supervised visitation costs money we don't have. Your father's hours got cut. I had to take early retirement. We thought if you could see how much everyone's suffering. Let me get this straight. You didn't reach out to apologize. You reached out because Holly needs money for supervised visitation. Not just that, my dad said quickly. We genuinely want to reconcile. We miss you. But yes, Holly's situation made us realize we can't keep living like this. Your favorite child destroyed her own life, and now you need the son you disowned to bail her out. My mom's face crumpled. Holly's not our favorite? Yeah, she is. Always has been. The successful one. The one who gave you grandkids. Meanwhile, I was the disappointment. That's not true, my dad said weakly. Then why did you believe Chelsea instantly? No questions. No doubt. Just immediate belief and immediate exile. We panicked. We heard children in danger, and we reacted. You protected Holly's kids, not your son. You made your choice and lived with it for 3.5 years, until you needed money. Please, my dad said. We know we failed you, but we're here now. 3.5 years too late. We'll do anything, my mom said desperately. Therapy together, public apologies, whatever it takes. I looked at both of them. Really looked. They were broken, but not for the right reasons. You're not here because you realized you destroyed your son's life over a lie. You're here because Holly's consequences are expensive, and I'm the only one with money. That's not fair, my dad said. You kicked me out at Thanksgiving. Didn't speak to me for 3.5 years. Now you're on my doorstep asking me to forgive you so I'll help pay for Holly's supervised visitation. You tell me what's not fair. We genuinely want you back, my mom insisted. So if Holly wasn't in trouble, you'd still be here? Silence. We miss you, my dad said quietly. Not enough to pick up the phone. Not enough until you needed something. Please, my mom begged. We're your parents. That has to mean something. You stopped being my parents when Dad told me to get out of his house. Those words don't unsay themselves. So that's it? My dad asked. You're just going to cut us out forever? You cut me out first. For 3.5 years. I'm just maintaining the status quo you established. We were wrong. Being wrong doesn't obligate me to forgive you, especially when you're only here because Holly needs money. My mom started crying harder. Don't we deserve a second chance? Did you think I deserved a first chance? Before you believed Chelsea? Silence. That's what I thought. You made your choice at Thanksgiving. I'm just living with the consequences of your choice. We're begging you. We'll do anything. Then you should have thought about that before you disowned me. Before you picked Holly's comfort over my innocence. We're sorry, they both said. Good for you. I hope that keeps you warm at night. I started to close the door. Wait, my dad said desperately. What if we took out a loan and paid you back over time? I'm not giving you anything. This isn't about money. This is about you choosing to believe I was a pedophile with zero evidence. You want to help Holly? Take out a loan? Get a second job? Figure it out like adults. Please don't do this, my mom sobbed. You're our son. We love you. You loved Holly more. That's why after 3.5 years of silence, you suddenly remembered I exist? We thought if you saw how much Holly was struggling, my mom started. There it is. You can't even apologize without making it about Holly. Even now, it's still about protecting your favorite child from consequences. I closed the door while my mom was mid-sentence. Heard them standing there for another minute. My mom crying, my dad's low voice trying to console her. Then footsteps. Car doors. Engine starting. I went back to the patio, flipped my burgers, and took a long drink. My phone buzzed. Text from Nathan. Mom and Dad just called me crying. Said you refused to see them. I saw them. Told them no. They're devastated. They should have thought about that before Dad disowned me. They want to make things right. They want money for Holly's supervised visitation. That's different. They said they'll pay you back. I don't want their money. I don't want their apologies. I don't want anything from them. They're your parents. Not anymore. They made that clear 3.5 years ago. 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. I understand. I'm sorry they put you in this position. Not your fault, but I'm done with them. And I'm done with Holly. Want to grab a drink this week? Yeah, that'd be good. Guys, we are so close to hit 100,000 subscribers on this channel. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. It really helps hit that 100,000 mark. Thanks for making this dream come true.